Today we're going to break down the limiting belief that you need alcohol to relax. And I'm going to explain how this works by using a diagram called the stick person, created by Dr. Thurman Fleet back in 1934. It's a simple way to understand how the mind works. Because the truth is, everything that's happening in your life is happening through your mind. But the problem is, we don't have a picture of the mind. Because your mind isn't a thing, it's an activity. So Dr. Fleet created this diagram to give us a mental model to work with. It's a way to understand how we're creating the results in our life and how we can change them. So here's how it works. So here's the stick person. So you have your 5 senses up here. You see, hear, smell, taste, touch. And you also have your conscious mind, which is up here at the top, conscious mind, and your subconscious mind is at the bottom there. And then you have your body, which is represented by this bottom circle here. Now your body is an instrument of the mind. Your conscious mind is your thinking mind. It's where you gather information. And your subconscious mind is your emotional mind. This is where your beliefs, your habits, and your self-image is stored. This is also called your paradigm. Now here's the key. 95% of people are just reacting to life, living through their senses, what they see, hear, smell, taste, touch. And the best way to know if you're living through your senses is if you keep on getting the same results over and over again that you're unhappy with. So let's break this down with a real example. So let's say you come home from a long day of work, okay? You sit down on your couch, which is one of your senses, right? You touch the couch, okay? That physical sensation will trigger a thought, okay, in your conscious mind, all right? So let's say that thought is, man, it was a long day. Now that thought is going to trigger a belief. In this case, it's the belief that I need alcohol to relax, okay? So that's on your subconscious mind, your belief. Now that belief is going to identify an emotion, all right? Maybe it's overwhelm or stress right now. Okay? And that emotion is going to put you either in a positive or a negative energy. Okay? And then if we scroll down here, we can see there's this fine line right here. Let me see. There's a fine line right here, okay? Between contentment and boredom. All right? And when you entertain emotions below that line, you are going to be in a negative energy. Okay? And when you entertain emotions that are above that line, you are going to be in a positive energy, okay? And whatever energy that emotion causes is going to move your body into action, okay? So that's either on a positive side, it would be inspired action. And then on a negative side, it's either procrastination or a habitual behavior, right? Habitual behavior. And then that action is going to cause a result, okay? All right, so again, you come home from work, you sit on the couch, that triggers a thought of, it's been a long day. Now that thought is going to trigger that belief. I need alcohol to relax, right? And that belief causes you to stir up that emotion, whether it's overwhelm or stress, which is going to put you into, in this case, negative energy, okay? And that's going to cause you to take a habitual behavior of go grab a beer or alcohol, whatever, right? And that may lead you into sitting on the couch for a couple hours, having a few beers, which could lead to arguments with your wife, right? Which could cause you to drink even more, which leads to a terrible night's sleep. And the problem is a lot of guys will just keep this cycle going because every day seems like a long day when you don't get a good night's sleep. Now, how do you shift this? Well, first you want to start off with the results that you actually want, okay? Maybe you want to come home from work, spend some quality time with your family, eat a good dinner, go to bed, get a good night's sleep, and wake up refreshed and relaxed in the morning. All right, so let's walk through this situation again, all right? You come home, sit down on the couch, triggers a thought in your conscious mind. It's been a long day, right? And that's going to trigger that same belief. I need alcohol to relax, okay? Which is going to cause that emotion of overwhelm or stress. So you're going to be catching that emotion, right? A feeling that overwhelm, that stress. But what you want to do is you just want to catch it before you start that cycle, okay? So before you get up and start going to that refrigerator to grab another beer, challenge that belief. Ask yourself, does this really relax me? Or does this just numb me and then lead to arguments with my wife and terrible sleep? Then you could ask yourself, what could I do that would actually be relaxing? So now you can start thinking of some better options, like go for a walk, take a nap, listen to a podcast, hit a quick workout, or work on a personal project. So now instead of being stuck in that cycle, it now becomes a choice. And when you choose something that's just a little bit more inspiring than grabbing a beer, let's say you choose to go for a walk, that actually raises your energy. Okay? That idea raises your energy. The idea of, hey, I could go for a walk right now and that would actually relax me and clear my head, that raises your energy to a point where you get inspired enough to actually go on the walk. So you take inspired action by going for the walk. And guess what? That gives you new results. You come back from the walk, you're more refreshed, you spend some time with your family, you cook dinner, you go to bed and get a good night's sleep, and wake up the next day feeling truly relaxed. And now you started a new cycle. Now that's the difference between reacting and responding. When you respond, you stay in control. And that starts with spotting your beliefs ahead of time. So when the moment comes, you can challenge them and make better decisions. So let's just recap real quick. Again, you get home from work, you're going to sit down on the couch, right? That might be a habit. That's going to trigger that thought. It's been a long day. Now you just need to understand that that belief that you have is going to stick with you until you really truly overcome it, right? And it becomes a habit of catching it. So you have to be aware that that belief is part of your programming, okay? So you want to understand that you need to just catch it, okay? So that belief's going to pop up again. I need alcohol to relax. But when you catch that and you choose, you now have a choice, right? Because you've identified that that is a belief that you have, and that belief has led to results that you do not want. So now in that moment, you can make a decision, okay? And that decision is either going to put you in a positive energy or a negative energy. And based on that energy, you're going to either take that inspired action to do something that's going to give you the results that you actually want, or it's going to cause you to procrastinate, or just the habitual behavior of grabbing a beer. Okay? And that, you know what the results are for that, and the results are for the inspired action. So it's up to you. It's a choice at this point, okay? If you don't allow your beliefs to control your life, and you just give yourself the ability to choose, you're going to be able to create a happy life. So that's how you can overcome the limiting belief that I need alcohol to relax. And if you're feeling stuck in your relationship with alcohol, click the link below and book a free call with me. We'll talk about where you are right now, where you want to be, and what it will take to become the man that you know you're capable of being. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.